Hey class, we're going to go ahead and continue on. We're still on example 1. You don't have to write this next part down because we figured out that easy now, hard later. Now, the other one is for us to figure out a least common denominator. This next one will be hard now, easy later. What I mean by that is we will need to figure out what the LCD is, the least common multiple, or the LCM, the least common multiple. And what that means is the least number, the one that's common when we multiply. So we're going to do 3 and 12. So 3 is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, and continuing on, right? And then we got 12, 24, 36, and then so on. Which one is the least common multiple? The one that they have in common, that's the least number. So we started with 12, so we have to find, there it is, 12. 12 is our least common multiple. 12 will be our least common multiple. Now, if you look, 24 is a common multiple. It is a common multiple, but it's not the least common multiple. Okay, that's why we call it least common multiple. We can have common multiples, right? You even get 36 eventually, but 12 is the least common multiple. And what that means is we can now use the number 12 instead of 36. Okay? Instead of 36, we can actually use 12 as in our creating our equivalent fraction. So 2/3. We'll now have to have the denominator 12. How will I get 3 to be 12? Well, I'm going to multiply by 4, right? So 3 times 4 will give me 12. That means whatever I do the bottom, I do the top. 2 times 4 will give me 8. How do I get 12 to be 12? Why don't I do anything to it? Right? I don't have to do anything to it. I multiply by 1. 1 times 12 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. That's why I got that. And then we're going to go ahead and, remember, same thing. Add the numerator, you get 9. Keep our denominator 12. Here we'll reduce by 3. Again, I know it kind of didn't really give us the answer that we wanted right away. But 9 divided by 3, we get 3. 12 divided by 3, we get 4. We got our number easier that way. Okay, it wasn't as so much work as the one we did before. Right, so that's it. Okay? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and move on to example 2. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to example 2. Okay. Alright, example 2. Example 2 is 5 over 8 plus 7 over 10. All right, step 1, text the method if necessary. We don't have any mixed numbers, so no text method is necessary. Get the same denominator. Do I have the same denominators here? No, I do not. Right? So again, we're going to do it 2 different ways on purpose so that we can figure out which one we like better. So the first way is is the easy now, difficult later. Easy now, hard later, right? Easy now means I can just multiply these together. 8 times 10 and I get 80. And that will be my new denominator, my new bottom number, my new denominator for my 2 equivalent fractions to these fractions. So I'm trying to get an equivalent fraction of 5/8. Right? And so how do I get 8 to be 80? Well, I multiply by 10 like I just did. So whatever I do at the bottom, I also have to do to the top. So 10 times 8, I get that 80. 10 times 5, I get 50. So again, I just created an equivalent fraction. 5/8 is the same thing as 50/80, or 50 over 80. Created that equivalent fraction. These 2 are equivalent fractions. Now, I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to create an equivalent fraction from 7/10 to become this one right here with the denominator of 80. 8 times what will give me 80? Well, I did it right over here, times 8. Whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. 10 times 8, I get 80. 7 times 8, I get 56. Okay? So, now, again, my equivalent fraction of 5/8 is 50 over 80. My equivalent fraction to 7 over 10 is 56 over 80. Now remember, these are equivalent fractions, which means they have the same decimal value. They just look different. Same thing here. Same decimal value. They just look different. So if I add these two, if I add them up, I'm going to get the same decimal values if I add these up. These two numbers up at the same time. I'm going to get the same value. So let's go ahead and add these up now. Add the tops. We get 50 plus 56. That's 106. Do we add these or we keep them? Step 3 says add the numerator, which we did, and keep the denominator, which is 80. Okay? So that's obviously not simplified because they're both even numbers. First thing we should simplify by always is 2. Just if we can think of a bigger number, that's good. But for time's sake, let's go ahead and divide top and bottom by 2. And again, all that means is we cut them in half. Cut the numerator in half and the denominator in half. 106 divided by 2, I believe that's 53. 80 divided by 2, we get 40. Okay? 53 over 40. Now, this is reduced, all 53 is prime. This is an improper fraction. Right? We've talked about what improper and this is improper fraction. And what we want to get, let's say again on the star or something, right? We get this answer, but in our answer choices, we don't have this answer. Right? We have a mixed number. So we want to turn this into a mixed number, right? And we got to convert now, just like we did before on the other problem before this. We got to convert 53 over 40. So how do we do that? How do we convert an improper fraction to a mixed number? What do we have to do? Divide, right? So let's go ahead and do that. 53 is getting rained on. Where does it want to go? Inside, right? 40, crazy one, he wants to be outside, right? Now, 40 goes into 53 how many times? 1 time. 40 times 1 is 40. 53 minus 40, 3 minus 0 is 3, 5 minus 4 is 1. So now we have our whole number, right? Which is going to be 1, capital 1, right? Not the bank, just the big one, right? And 13 is our numerator. I'm going to write N-U-M to represent numerator. And 40 is our denominator. I wrote den for denominator. And so this will be our answer as a mixed number. Okay? So again, this is easy now because we multiplied right away and difficult later. We're going to work on that in our next example. But again, this is the one way to do this particular problem. And we're going to go ahead and continue on part 3. Okay? Thanks for watching.